when I was a kid, this sound used to make me crazy. Just rubbing your hands together and making that frictiony sound. So, me being the untrained plutist I wasn't back then, I was just an average Joe. I would tattletale. The more that I would tattletale and the more I would get pissed off at people making that sound, the more they would do it. So essentially what was happening was I was freaking out because someone was making a sound I didn't like. Via the bullying, making fun of me being a tattletale, it got corrected. The behavior was corrected. And that's how it works. So, now I get, someone's going to watch this podcast or video and be like, well, what about someone who's like mentally retarded and can't help it? Well, you can't use one weird example to make an argument. Like, that's just not how things work. That's like the argument where it's like, oh, this group of people is bad because a few of those people do bad things. Like, no, it's a bad argument. But overall, when someone has a behavior that's not good and you correct it through, the group rejecting the social behavior, the person learns to adapt and improve their behavior. I know this from my own experience because of things I've experienced where, people reject my behavior and I realize, hey, I got to change the behavior. Or sometimes what you're doing is fine. And maybe, what you're doing is not bad behavior. And that teaches you to stand up for yourself, which is just as important. There's two kinds of people that get bullied. There's really two when turned to adults. There's the kind that become strong, resilient, and motivated. I bet you the average millionaire was bullied as a kid at some point. Maybe they had acne, maybe they were fat, maybe they talked fast. You guys know I talk fast. Maybe they couldn't make friends, whatever the hell it is. They used that bullying and they got stronger like me. I faced some shit, but it made me strong, it made me a man. I knew how to respond to people better, it made me more charismatic, it made me more likable because all these things that happen, like interact with people and realize, what works and what doesn't work. Bullying is a trial and error. You ever realize that? It's trial and error because you try new things and then what doesn't work is an error and you correct. And if no one ever corrected you, how do you find out? Millionaires have the thickest skin because every day there's some bullshit. People hate them for being successful. People hate them for this. People want to shit on them. People want to tear them down. And to be successful, you have to have thick skin. That's why a lot of people that are millionaires and are really successful, were bullied as a kid because they learned how to let things that don't matter slide off them. People want to talk shit. Okay, good for you. I'm still richer than you. I'm still more successful. People that are bullied and being fitter, they're better looking, they're healthier, they think faster. It's great. Now, the other kind of person that got bullied as a kid turns out to be, let's give an example. Someone got bullied as a kid turns out to be the CEO of Twitter. What's his name? Jack Dorsey, that little bitch. And because he was bullied as a kid, he wants to control everybody now. So you got your liberal snowflakes. Because they were bullied, they now want to control everyone in the adult world. So you're the ones that realize, hey, the bullying made me stronger. Now I'm more powerful. I'm smarter. I can talk to people better. Now, the other end are the people like your school shooter types. Now, the school shooter types sometimes evolve into a CEO of Twitter or Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, or Jack Cucker Dorsey. And what they do is they want to change the rules for everyone else. They want to censor you. Censor. Think about all the censorship going on right now. The people that want to censor, the people that either are doing censorship or support censorship, or just people who were bullied as a kid. That's really all it is. They were bullied as a kid. So you got people like me who face some bullying, and now I'm like, okay, I let the little things roll off my chest. I don't give a shit. And you need people who go, I was bullied as a kid, so I'm going to make sure no one on my platform can say anything that I don't like or that I disagree with because it's offensive. Well, you know what, dude? I think you're a little bitch if you support censorship. So there's calls to action. You got to censor calls to action where someone's like, hey, go attack this person. That's a call to action. That's censorship. But to censor someone because they're making transphobic comments, screw you. So let's say you have a friend who I'll use myself for an example. I always talk fast, right? I talk even more fast, and I used to be very annoying. Like, I would want to chill with people, and I'd be hitting them up like, yo, let's chill. And, me hitting people up nonstop to chill versus me talking fast, it got kind of annoying. So by people bullying or being mean and pointing out to me like, hey, man, you're talking too fast, I learned to talk slower. Or at least, I still talk fast because people like when I do it now because I pronunciate my words. But I learned how to pronounce words, so I made it a strength instead of a weakness. Now, what if the bullying didn't happen? What if I just kept talking fast and no one ever made fun of it? So imagine if people were like, hey, man, you should talk a little slower because it's hard to understand you. I'm going to be like, dude, screw you. I'm not talking slower. But if someone goes, dude, you talk so fast, you sound like you're retarded. Well, that hit a little harder home, calling me retarded because of the way I speak. So now I'm actually trying to speak better because I got bullied. I got a harsher push. Think about it. So your reality goes by push. So if someone hates you with a soft push, hey, if it's a slight push, hey, man, please talk slower. It's kind of hard to understand you. I'm just going to not give a fuck. But if I get a little harsher of a comment, like you sound like you're autistic, then I'm like, well, I don't want to sound autistic. I better speak better.